Hi, my name is Jen, and I'm with the Volusia County Public Library Hope Place branch. And today's craft is inspired from a craft that I made in my own home and gets lots of attention. It is called the Always Late Anyway clock. Let's get some items together so I can show you how to make one. So I love the way that this clock looks in my home, and I love the attention it gets whenever someone sees it for the first time. It's kind of fun, and also I just wanted to show you that you could definitely switch it up, the colors for your decor in your home. This one I did on a stretch canvas that was done in burlap. You definitely want to make sure that you have enough room for the back of your clock mechanism. That is really the only thing that you need to absolutely keep in mind. Today we are going to be using a white canvas. You can do it any size you would like. You will need a clock set. And then also, depending on whether the ink would bleed on the canvas, I tested it on the back here. It did not, so I'm going to be using permanent black markers for my numbers. You can also use acrylic paint to paint on the numbers. You will need a pencil and either a small pair of scissors or an X-Acto knife to cut a center for where we go ahead and attach the clock. So our first step is going to be installing the clock onto our canvas. I'm going to go ahead and install this one. On the back of every clock mechanism that you get, there should be instructions or a pamphlet inside. So they're all a little bit different. So I'm going to go ahead and install it according to my directions. We can just go ahead and put these numbers off to the side for another project. We're not even going to need those. I would just say make sure to be very careful with keeping track of every piece and keep them in line. And then on your canvas where you're going to install your clock mechanism is going to be in the center, but just a couple inches higher. Okay, so it's going to be right around in here. Okay, so I'm going to install according to directions. After following the instructions and making sure that everything was definitely tightened down, as you can see, our clock is working just fine. It's in a perfect placement for what we need to do. All of our numbers will go on to one side, and then we'll have our little saying on the other. So let's get started. You can draw out your numbers any way you'd like. If you'd like them a little more digital or a little bit more curvy, it's whatever that you want on your clock. You want to go ahead and keep them kind of down in this point right down here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a pencil, and I'm going to start writing out enough numbers for 1 through 12, and I'm just going to put them all over the clock. I wanted to check in with you and show you kind of where my progress was so far on drawing out the numbers. And so I have a 1, 7, 0, 3, 4, and 8. I have obviously more numbers to add. I just wanted to show that they don't have to be perfect in any way, because we're going to fine tune them when we either use the marker or the paint, however you want to do it. And part of the charm of this project is the fact that it's just fun and it doesn't have to be perfect. We can make the numbers bigger, you can do anything. If you're really worried about precision, you are welcome to use a stencil. So I'm going to keep on writing out my numbers. Now that I've drawn in my numbers, I'm going to go ahead and do my saying over on this side, and it's going to be whatever, I'm always late anyways. Now that we have our numbers and we have our saying, now I'm just going to go over them with the marker. Now, a way to check your canvas to see if you could use permanent marker would be just on the back. Go ahead and draw a couple lines and do a little coloring, and just make sure that it doesn't bleed. That marker you could definitely use. If it bled, you would want to stick with the acrylic paint. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cover all of this and outline and color in all of my numbers. I'm going to write over my saying, and I'm going to watch my hand. As you're coloring over everything, make sure to move your canvas around a bit and try not to drag the pencil marks with you, because it can make this white canvas look a little dingy. Go ahead and fill in my letters and numbers, and I'll show you the finished product. Now that we have finished all of the covering the letters with the black and kind of finalizing our words, this is our completed whatever I'm late anyways clock. I want to thank you for joining me on this crafting video, and don't forget to check us out on volusialibrary.org, where you can search for books, DVDs, magazines, and even check out databases for crafting inspiration. Also, don't forget that we have a Facebook, an Instagram, and a YouTube channel where Volusia is always getting crafty. Don't forget to click subscribe so that you get notifications when we upload a new video. I'll see you soon. Happy crafting. Bye-bye.